Forget the personality quizzes you already know. What if your next power move was hidden in a simple color? What if your soul is already telling you exactly how to unlock the next chapter of your life, using a language older than words? This isn't about your favorite color. This is about decoding a direct message from your unconscious mind to reveal the exact power you are ready to embody and the hidden truth you need to face to finally step into your main character era. And there's a powerful psychological reason this works, rooted in the work of the great pioneer of depth psychology, Carl Jung. He taught that our unconscious mind speaks to us in symbols, and color is one of its favorite languages. The colors we love, and just as importantly, the colors we avoid, aren't just preferences. They are messengers from the deepest parts of you. Think about it. The color you love often reveals a power you already identify with. But the real secret, the key to who you are becoming, often lies in the color you can't stand. That resistance points directly to a disowned part of yourself, a hidden power waiting to be met. This is the heart of what Jung called shadow work, embracing the parts of ourselves we've learned to hide in order to become whole. So, this process will show you who you are becoming. It will reveal the conscious power you need to lean into and the shadow energy you must acclaim to make your next great leap. Ready? We're going to look at 5 core psychological colors: red, blue, yellow, green, and purple. First, choose the one color from this group that calls to you, the one that feels like home. Don't overthink it. This is your conscious power. Next, identify the one color you feel resistance to, the one that feels off, irritating, the one you'd never choose. This is your hidden potential, your shadow power. Have you got them? Let's discover what they mean. Let's start with the most primal color on the spectrum, red. If you were drawn to red, you are being called to embody the power of raw, unapologetic life force. Red is the color of blood, fire, and the rising sun. It is the energy of action, passion, and declaring, I am here. If this is your color, your soul is ready to move out of the world of thought and into decisive action. You are tired of waiting for permission. You are done being a background character in your own story. The call of red is a rebellion against being small and quiet. It's a signal from your psyche that it's time to take up space, pursue your goals with relentless focus, and reclaim your right to your own desires. This energy is about feeling fully alive, fully engaged, fully in your body. Here is your power move, unapologetic action. This is your moment to stop planning and start doing. Your task is to identify one thing you've been hesitating on, the project, the conversation, the decision, and take the first, most direct step possible. Red energy is about momentum and instinct. Make a choice and commit. Your unconscious is telling you that stagnation is the enemy. It is time to remind the world and yourself of the potent force of your own will. Now, what if red was a color you avoided? If you felt a strong resistance to red, this is an incredibly significant message. To avoid red is to fear your own primal energy, your assertiveness, your anger, your passion. You may have been taught that these parts of you are too much or unlovable. You might pride yourself on being easygoing, but in doing so, have disconnected from the raw, life-giving energy that red represents. This can show up as a struggle with setting boundaries or a sense of chronic exhaustion because you've cut off your own inner fire. You may fear conflict, keeping the peace at your own expense. Or perhaps you feel a secret shame around your own ambition. This is your shadow. You have learned that your value comes from being accommodating, so you bear your own needs. To reclaim this shadow, your work is to reclaim your no. The path isn't about becoming an aggressive person. It is about reclaiming your right to exist. Start small. Your task is to practice saying no to one thing each day that you would normally agree to out of obligation. Each respectful no reclaims a piece of your life force. Next, engage with this energy physically. Do something that makes you feel powerful in your body. Exercise, dance, sing out loud. The goal is to feel the fire of red in your veins again, not as a destructive force, but as the source of your vitality. Let's shift now to the cool, contemplative power of blue. If you were intuitively drawn to blue, your psyche is calling you toward truth, clarity, and profound depth. Blue is the color of the vast sky and the deep ocean. It represents the infinite and the tranquil, Unlike the fiery energy of red, blue represents a journey inward. Choosing blue suggests you are at a point where surface-level answers are no longer enough. You are craving meaning and a deeper connection to your own inner truth. People who resonate with blue are often calm, stable, and wise. Your attraction to blue indicates you are ready to access your own inner oracle, to rise above the daily chaos and find serene perspective. You are ready to listen to the still, small voice within and to trust its guidance. Your soul is thirsty for the kind of peace that comes not from avoiding problems, but from understanding them on a deeper level. What you need to do now is this: create a sanctuary of silence. In a world that is constantly screaming for your attention, your power lies in cultivating silence. Your mission is to carve out at least 15 minutes of uninterrupted quiet time for yourself every single day. This is non-negotiable. It isn't time for productivity. It is time for being. You can meditate, journal, or simply sit and stare out a window. The goal is to quiet the external world, so your internal world can speak. Your most profound insights will arise here. Your power move is to become the calm eye of the storm. But what if blue was a color you found repulsive? If blue made you feel resistant, your subconscious is sending a powerful signal. To dislike blue is often to fear stillness and looking inward. You might be someone who thrives on constant motion, noise, and distraction. The idea of being alone with your thoughts might feel terrifying because the silence feels empty or worse, filled with uncomfortable truths. This can manifest as chronic restlessness or anxiety. You might be a workaholic, addicted to chaos because it keeps you from confronting your own inner world. You may distrust your intuition, relying solely on external opinions, or find it difficult to be vulnerable. This is your shadow. You are running from yourself, living a life that is wide but not deep, and your soul is feeling the emptiness. Here's how you start to integrate this hidden power. Ask one deep question. Your path is not to force an hour of silent meditation. It is much simpler. At the end of each day, before sleep, lie in a quiet and ask yourself one single deep question about your being, not your to-do list. Questions like, what was I truly feeling today? When did I feel most alive? What am I pretending not to know? You don't even have to answer. The exercise is simply to create the space for the question to exist. It is a small crack of blue light in a dark room, and it is where you will start to hear your own intuition again. Let's move to the brightest color in our spectrum, yellow. If you are drawn to yellow, your spirit is calling for illumination, optimism, and the joy of being seen. Yellow is the color of the sun, of light, of that aha moment that cuts through all confusion. Choosing yellow means you are emerging from a period of darkness and are ready to step into the light of your own brilliance. You are ready to share your ideas and embrace a future filled with possibility. People who resonate with yellow are often cheerful, creative, and charismatic. Their mind is buzzing with energy. You are being called to trust your intellect, to express your unique perspective, and to let your natural light shine. This isn't a time for self-doubt or for hiding. The power of yellow is a warm, magnetic energy of the conscious mind at its peak. Clear, focused, and full of creative fire. You're being called to be a source of that warmth, not just for yourself, but for others. Your next step is clear. Share your light. Your mind is a garden of brilliant ideas, but they're useless if they stay locked in your head. Your power move is to choose one idea, a project, a post, a creative piece, and share with the world in the next 7 days. This isn't about creating a perfect final product. It is about the act of transmission. Overcome the paralysis of perfectionism and let your light be seen. The specific action is less important than the symbolic act of moving an idea from your internal world to the external world. By sharing it, you declare that your thoughts have value. Now, what if yellow was a color that made you cringe? If you had a visceral negative reaction to yellow, you are likely avoiding your own visibility. An aversion to yellow often points to a deep-seated fear of being seen, judged, and taking up intellectual space. You may carry a painful form of imposter syndrome, believing your ideas aren't good enough, or that if people really saw you, they'd see a fraud. This is your shadow. It can manifest as chronic self-doubt, a fear of the spotlight, or a tendency to procrastinate. You might be overly critical of yourself and others, a defense to find the flaws before anyone else can. You might dismiss optimism as naive, because the bright energy of yellow feels threatening to a psyche that has made a home in the comfortable shadows of self-criticism. You are hiding your own light, and your potential is being suffocated. The work here is to amplify someone else's light. Your path isn't to suddenly jump on a stage. It is to practice celebrating brilliance from a safe distance first. Your task is to find one person this week whose ideas you genuinely admire and publicly celebrate them. Share their article with a thoughtful comment. Praise a colleague's great idea in an email and copy their boss. You are engaging with the energy of yellow in a way that feels safe, becoming a conduit for illumination. This does two things. It aligns you with a frequency of appreciation, and it shows you that celebrating ideas is a positive act. As you get more comfortable shining a light on others, you'll realize it's safe to let a little of that light shine on you, too. Let's turn our attention to the color at the very center of the spectrum, the great balancer, green. If you felt a strong pull towards green, your soul is yearning for healing, balance, and sustainable growth. Green is the color of nature, of life, of renewal. It represents the powerful, steady energy of forest, which grows with deep roots and quiet persistence. Choosing green indicates you are in a phase where harmony is your highest priority. You are being called to move away from the extremes and find a place of grounded, centered power. People drawn to green are often nurturing and practical, the healers and community pillars who create safety for themselves and others. You are being called to tend to your own inner garden, to establish healthy boundaries, nurture your well-being, and create a life that feels not just successful, but sustainable. The power of green is the power of integration and building something that lasts. To make this real, your task is to tend your inner garden. Like a garden, your life requires maintenance. Your power move is to get honest about what is draining you and what is feeding you. Take a piece of paper. On one side, list the weeds, relationships, obligations, habits, or beliefs choking your growth. On the other side, list what feeds you, activities, people, and places that make you feel grounded. Then, choose one weed to gently remove this month and one feed activity to schedule as a non-negotiable appointment. The power of green is in slow, deliberate action. This is how you create fertile ground for the harmonious growth your soul is calling for. And what if green was a color you resisted? If green elicited a feeling of aversion or boredom, that's a significant clue. To dislike green is often to be disconnected from the rhythms of nature and your own body. It signals a deep imbalance. You may be living in a state of perpetual rush, seeing rest and self-care as unproductive luxuries. The steady, slow energy of green feels boring to a nervous system addicted to the highs of stress and the lows of collapse. This is your shadow. You may have a hustle and grind mentality, believing your worth is tied to your productivity. You might feel disconnected from your physical body, ignoring its signals for rest, or fear being average or normal. The quiet contentment green represents can feel like a threat. You are living in the extremes and have forgotten the profound power that lies in the center. Your first step toward wholeness is this: touch the earth. Your path to integrating the healing power of green is about reconnecting with the physical world in the simplest way possible. Your task is to spend at least 5 minutes each day in direct physical contact with nature. This isn't about grand adventures. It's about simple connection. Take off your shoes and stand in the grass. Lean against a tree. Tend to a small houseplant. The goal is to get out of your head and into your senses. Nature operates on a different time scale. It does not hustle. By physically connecting with it, you allow your nervous system to sync with this calmer, more grounded frequency. Finally, let's arrive at the color of mystery and magic, purple. If you were irresistibly drawn to purple, you are ready for a profound act of integration. Purple is unique, born from the union of fiery red and cool blue. As such, it represents the merging of opposites, body and spirit, instinct and intellect, the human and the divine. Choosing purple signifies that you are in a high stage of personal development, ready to bring the fragmented parts of yourself into a powerful, cohesive whole. You are stepping into the role of the alchemist. People who resonate with purple are often highly intuitive and creative. They walk with foot in both worlds, the material and the mystical. You understand that true power lies not in choosing between your fierce, assertive side, red, and your gentle, intuitive side, blue. But in embodying both, you are tired of living in boxes. You are a warrior and a healer, a thinker and a feeler, and you are finally ready to accept all of it. This is the energy of wholeness that comes from profound self-acceptance. Your power lies in bringing disparate elements together. So, here's your mission. Create a synthesis ritual. Design a personal ritual that consciously blends your red and blue energies. For example, combine a highly physical red activity with a deeply contemplative blue one. Go for a powerful run, red, and then immediately sit in silent meditation, blue. Or engage in a red act of bold self-expression, like writing out your uncensored truth. Then follow with a blue act of detachment, like burning the paper and releasing the outcome. The key is the conscious intention to merge these two forces. You are teaching your mind and body that your passion and your peace are not enemies, but partners. And what if purple was a color that you hated? To feel an aversion to purple is deeply revealing, because purple is a blend. Resisting it often signals a fear of complexity. It suggests you are living a life of internal conflict, where the different parts of you are at war. You may be stuck in a rigid, black and white worldview, unable to hold two opposing ideas at the same time. You might believe you have to be either strong or gentle, logical or intuitive. The idea of being both feels messy, chaotic, or even hypocritical. This is your shadow. This inner conflict can manifest as feeling deeply fragmented or inauthentic, like you have to wear different masks in different parts of your life. You judge your own red impulses, your anger, your ambition as unspiritual. Or you judge your blue inclinations, your desire for rest and vulnerability, as weak. You are caught in an either slash or trap, unable to access the profound power of both slash and. To bring this part of you back home, your mission is to find the end. Your path is to embrace paradox. Start noticing the either slash or thinking in your life and consciously replace it with and. Start with your self-perception. The next time you think, I am so stressed, I need to be more peaceful, reframe it to, I am feeling stressed, and I am a person who is capable of great peace. I am strong and I am vulnerable. I am logical and I am intuitive. This is not just a word game. It is a profound psychological shift. It gives you permission to be complex. The word and is the bridge between the red and blue within you. It is the birthplace of purple. Take a moment. Let that sink in. The color that called to you is the power you are ready to claim. The color that repelled you is the hidden strength you are ready to integrate. Now, I want to hear from you. This is a community of self-discovery. Go down to the comments and share two things: which color you chose and which color you avoided. Did the interpretation resonate with you? Reading through the comments is a powerful experience, as you'll see your own patterns reflected in others. Don't be shy. Share your spectrum. So, what have we really learned today? We've learned that your relationship with color is not arbitrary. It is a living dialogue with the deepest parts of yourself. Carl Jung taught that the goal of life is individuation, the process of becoming an integrated, whole individual. This journey requires us to face not just our light, but our shadows. This color exercise is a tool for that very journey. It shows you the power you are consciously ready to step into, your chosen color. This is the theme for your current chapter. Lean into it. But perhaps even more importantly, it has illuminated the power you have disowned, your avoided color. Do not turn away from this. This is your greatest opportunity for growth. Your aversion is a signpost, pointing directly to the exact quality you need to integrate to become more whole. The work is not to force yourself to love that color, but to understand what part of you it represents, and to begin the gentle work of reclaiming that lost piece of your soul. True power is not about being all light. It is not about being all action or all contemplation. True power is wholeness. It is the courage to be the full, complex, and beautiful spectrum of who you are. Thank you for going on this journey today. If this resonated with you, make sure to subscribe. Your main character era is just beginning.